Hey guys, okay, part 3, I'm back. I hate it that these break up like this. I'm so sorry. Thanks for watching though. I'm going to make a couple points. This is back to the first and second part of the different vibrational frequencies and matches within men and women, and how we have so much trouble with that, and want versus need when we get into relationships. Hell, this might have to go into a 4th part because I got more for y'all, especially about the different types of needs, and people get this shit confused. Yes, there are needs in relationships that are perfectly fine, and those needs should be met to a degree with balances and whatever the two people in the relationship are comfortable with. Each person should feel fulfilled. Each person should contribute to these couple needs, I'll call them. Now, there are different needs that people come jumping into relationships with that don't belong there. Where there are just needs plus extra needs, needs from childhood, needs that the individual is responsible for taking care of before they even partner up with someone. I'm going to give you a breakdown of the different types of needs and what really shouldn't be coming into the damn relationships, in my perspective, and what is actually healthy inside the relationship and okay to meet those needs between each other. And oftentimes somebody gets left out and somebody's doing more work and more of the giving on an energetic and emotional level or whatever, what have you. Okay, so we're going to get into that probably in the 4th part. All right. But that's a good thing to be aware of, okay? I'm referring, when I say need or want the relationship, are we in it for needs, or are we in it because we choose to be there and we want to be there? I'm talking about needs that an individual should have already met before they try to pair up and date you and get to know you. I'm talking about their self-awareness, their self-acceptance, their self-esteem, who they are, their purpose, their career, their finances. Human beings, I don't prefer to do this, and I don't think people should go around doing it. I don't want to have it done to me, and I have. People shouldn't sit up going, oh, I need a ride today. I don't have any money. I'm depressed. I need so much emotional support. I think there are proper channels to go through for things like this. You should not go out and start dating someone and try to jump up to husband or wife status, getting rides, getting them to do you favors every day, getting them to watch your back like a husband or wife would, and you barely even know them. And that's what you set out, I think I'll find me somebody today that can cover these needs for me. I think I'll start pretending to care and get in their life so they'll be there when I need a ride, or I know I'm going to run out of money between paychecks, or I just don't have anybody. That's what a goddamn therapist is for. Not for you to take all that into a brand new dating situation. No, that's what I'm saying. There are needs and responsibilities that are our own individual shit, that we should have that on par before we start pairing up. And ideally, we would go to a counselor, a therapist, or yes, we would have 2 or 3 trusted confidant friends in our life that we can go to and talk about things. We're going to get into a 4th and 5th part of this likely, okay, about the different need structures. And this is going to carry right on into how people go around. Oh, there's just so much to this. They go around using different people for different things that they really shouldn't be. They should be going through the proper channels to get that stuff and take care of it on their own. That would go along with the love bombing of the narcissist types. Okay, we'll get into that later. All right, before I run out of time, guys, I'm talking fast because my videos do cut off. They get up to 15 minutes very quickly, and it takes them forever to upload. So let's get back real quick to where we left off in part 2 about men and women in relationships and our different frequencies. It doesn't matter. Sometimes we just can't get along. We just don't have the same mentality, emotional maturity, whatever. We're not working towards the same goals when it gets right down to it. We find that out in our relationships sometimes, and it hurts. It's difficult. All right, let me find my damn raggly glasses. I need to buy some more reading glasses because I keep dropping and breaking mine and breaking one side of them off. Oh, man. I had 2 pairs earlier, and now I can't even find one so that I can see this stuff. You guys, I am so sorry. Here's one. Makes me... All right. Where'd we leave off? Okay. Should have had my page up there. Calling out in relationships. Do you approve? Do you approve? Okay, yes. I was talking about people who just run around out of desperation, out of not wanting to be alone. And they just jump into these relationships so fast. You're my soulmate, for all the wrong reasons. They don't have it together mentally, emotionally, financially, and otherwise before they go in. Now, those are the types of needs that I'm saying, technically, I feel that we're supposed to meet on our own before we start, ideally, we don't just go in for the kill. We start friending someone, slowly getting to know that person and court them, date them over time. And we're not going to be asking them on our dates, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you cover me till next week? Hey, you think you give me a ride to work? Some people do that, but that's that mentality I'm talking about. I want to grow up out of that. Been there, done it, had to do it before, lived that way, yes. Nothing wrong with that if you have a damn emergency. But some people want to stay stuck in that mentality forever, and they're looking for enablers. Yes, they're looking for enablers to enable this lazy-ass lifestyle. They feel entitled to stay there, to not have to put any more work into their own individual needs and issues. High-level narcissists and addicts are very bad about this, okay? So these are the people I'm referring to. All right, now don't let me get lost and carried away here. But yes, there are people running around wanting to skip over all the dating, all the getting to know you. This is you. These are your dreams. These are your goals. This is who you are as a woman, yada, 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 or a man. It happens to both. Fuck that. They don't care about that. They care about their fucking agenda. And next thing you know, they want wife privileges just like that. They want this ride or die. I'm looking for a ride or die. I've heard this before out of their mouth. I'm looking for that one. And they don't even want to put in the years of work necessary to build you into a ride or die, to show you that they are a ride or die on the level you need. You know what I'm saying? See? And when I was talking about how men need to feel needed, they're wired that way. They want to be useful. My God, even if you're a strong, powerful woman, oh my God, let me tell you something. There are so many things, but I'm not going to let just any man do it. See, I was going to get to that in the end of part 3. I'm not going to let some men do not want to step up and take their role. They want to complain about, women that are too this and too that, and they don't need anybody. You don't need me. Well, but a lot of certain men do not want to step up and be that leader. They don't want to step into the role, take care of the responsibilities inside themselves, and step up to that challenge so that, because women like me, a strong, powerful woman who's worked on herself emotionally and put in the fucking work and the sacrifices to go through that, no, I'm not going to just step back and follow just anybody. No, I'm going to be giving them hell and slamming down boundaries and what the fuck. Now, if they're going to step up and take that role and be there, and you show me, by God, that I can rely on you life and death, and you're a ride or die too, then I'm going to step down just a little bit as a woman. I'm not going to dull my shine. I'm not going to strip my identity and be less than for anybody. But by God, I will step back beside that man, and I will respect that. I have no problem respecting a man. None. But a lot of these men want to be lazy. They're looking for enablers. They're looking for whatever they can fucking get away with. And they don't want to step up in that role. That's what it is. All right. So, and women too. There's some women out there, lots of them doing that shit. All right. So, these people who have not met themselves on a certain level, as I talked about before, cannot meet you up there on that higher frequency if that's what you're doing. Working, growing, and evolving in your emotional and spiritual intelligence. They will reject and sabotage you, bring you down, want you to fail, or go off to a needy, more off-center, more unsure of themselves type of woman, so that they can get by with these things, and so that they don't feel so ashamed as a man or whatever, They will do these things. And at the same time, they'll be trying to keep you too. They'll do all this shit. A lot of people will. Because your alignment with self and frequency makes them feel ashamed, embarrassed, inferior, or inadequate. And you might even be poor as dirt. A lot of time it ain't even about money. It isn't even about money. You might be a struggling ass chick that fucking works 2 or 3 jobs, just struggling like hell, starving, just really trying. But since you are that driven, that motivated, you don't lay the fuck around. You don't lay around and wait for somebody to give it to you. You don't harass him and lay up being all like, well, fuck it, you'll pay for me. Since you're a woman that's not like that, oh shit, they want to get all, freaked out about you. But it may be, you just may be respectful to them. You may be respectful and wanting them to lead as a man, but because you have this powerful energy, they can't. They won't. They're fucked up about it. So you end up having to step up, you know? Some of these people cannot take their role, so you end up having to step up. And then when you do step up, they resent you, they're threatened by you, and they mosey off, do whatever they do, act out, whatever the fuck ever, cause problems, sabotage. It's not even about money or types of success a lot of times. It's if certain types of men are not in alignment with who they really are, who they can be, then they will resent you and be threatened by you, by a woman in her own alignment. And that is just how it is sometimes, okay? And by saying a woman in her power or in her alignment, I don't mean a disrespectful bitch. I don't mean being a disrespectful bitch who is not supportive of a good man. Too many good men have been manipulated, stupefied, cheated on by fucked up women just as much, okay? Don't appreciate it. Get that shit together. Anyway, so it's like, okay, how low do we have to go, though? If we're in a situation like that, what do we do? And I already weighed that out for you in part 2. Do we just keep on lowering ourselves down so the man will feel superior or he'll feel like a man? Or do we leave or do we work it out? What do we do? Can he rise up? Okay, we already talked about that. How far do we have to go? Dumb it down or act small and needy to keep a man? No. Sounds like BS to me, right? I don't care about wiring anymore. If you need someone to be that small, broken, needy, dependent, you might want to check yourself. You might want to adjust where you are in your own identity, okay? Are you okay in there? Is yourself okay? Is your self-esteem okay? And if you've been that way for years and people know it and you want people to just accept you like that, okay. Because a lot of people say that, well, just accept me where I am. They all know I'm messed up. Okay. But that's going to come with consequences too. Be prepared for that. Don't complain. I've had some people get upset, feel inferior because I was strong. I took over, got shit done, ran my shit, called my shots, set my boundaries. I'm who I am. Because they wanted to be that way, but would not put a drop of effort into what it takes to become that human. Yes, there are a lot of people that want to be that way, but they won't put a drop of the study, the sacrifice, the time. Get off the fucking drugs and alcohol so much. Get the fuck out of the TV. Get over there to the class. Go to the therapist. Get the books out. Sacrifice. Do what you got to do. Okay? But they won't. They just want to hate you for it and make you water down. Many women would be glad to follow a man if you just step up and take the role. Okay, dudes? I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that your woman is just desperate to follow you and respect you and admire you, but you just won't do it. And vice versa. I'm sure there's women out there doing this shit to men too. So many times we get with people thinking we will be in our appropriate roles, ready to be submissive, the submissive woman or wife, ready to work our way into that, but yes, still staying in our powerful identity as well. And we get with someone toxic or who will not take his role, his or her role, it could go either way, and then puts us in a role of caretaker or mom. That's happened to me. I don't want that role. But you know, if you're getting involved with, and when I refer to addicts, I'm a fucking addict myself. My whole family is. But I'm on a medication as well. I took responsibility for that. Okay? And my addiction was about this much, 3 years. Okay? Which is bad enough. When I refer to an addict, I'm talking 24/7 lifelong addiction from the time they get up in the morning to the time they go to bed at night. This is part of life. This is what they obsess over all day. And if you're involved with them, it's part of your life. You've got to work all that in and all the ways that it makes them act. I'm talking about that kind of addiction when I refer to addict. For those of you that want to go, well, we're all addicts. Yes, I have. And yes, I took responsibility for that. And I wouldn't want to be on anything recreational that fucked up my head so much every day that it would really interfere with my life and my relationships. So I'm on a medication that prevents me from doing so. It is what it fucking is. I know what it's like to be a fucking addict, though. But that's what I mean. Okay, so if you're involved with an addict or a toxic person on that level, these are some of the shit you're going to run into. They're going to want you to be a caretaker, a mother, an enabler. That's what most addicts are out there looking for. If they're knocking on your door or they're calling you up or I want to be your buddy or I care, if they're trying to get in your life in any way, shape, or form, and they are a lifelong addict or they are a full-fledged 24/7 addict, a lot of the time they're not working on their emotional maturity. It's at a certain level. And they're not looking to get better. They're looking for an enabler. They're looking for somebody to patch them through to the next drink or the next drug or the next paycheck. They're looking for rides because they're all in trouble. They're looking for this, that, and the other. They're not looking to know the real you and get on that frequency with you, okay? Yes, this kind of thing is happening, guys. Now, I'm not saying, hey, I got some of that shit in my life and I have to work around it. Sometimes we love people so much that if there's enough, if I see enough progress or I'm getting enough growth out of it, or we can make it work somehow, two people got love, we might be able to work around some shit. I just don't know. I'm still at a frustrating point in my own relationship, but it has made some changes and, you know, some progress, so we'll see. But, you know, I wouldn't be talking some shit I didn't know. I wouldn't be telling you things that I have not experienced and had to go through myself in the past multiple times, too. Yes. So yeah, we don't want to get put in those roles, guys. And these are the off frequencies, okay? Yeah, we don't want to be in that role, even though we might do it for you for a little bit. You know, I love to fuss over who I'm in love with. I love to fuss over them and care for them and throw it on thick but, you know, it needs to be appreciated. I'm not just to be drained out. And if I feel like I'm being drained out, I'm going to put down a boundary and get on back to my business. I can't have that. That's not right. It needs to be appreciated if you have someone in your life like that. So it just all depends, guys. When you hear people say no one should have to lower their shine, energy, talent, gifts, boundaries, power, and play small to someone else, so should feel comfortable or bigger or superior just so they can feel better about themselves. It's true. These people should do the damn work to rise within themselves, to feel what they want to feel and to get what the hell they need to get. They shouldn't be looking for people to do that and attaching to people to do that. Stop wanting the world to shrink. Stop wanting the world to shrink to where you are. No. How about come out of that shit a little bit? At least try a little bit. If people are trying with you, then you at least try a little bit. And you come up out of there and stop trying to make people shrink so much. But, you know, heavy addiction makes people really fragile and really difficult. And, no, I want it now the way I want it. It just makes it that way. So, all right. Moving forward. I think it will depend if a couple, men and women, are both working on emotional and spiritual growth, yes, and ascending in their consciousness together. Then these inferiority complexes, self-doubts, shame, looking for enablers, it's going to be real hard to get past it with an addict. That's the one damn thing that hurts me so bad. If addiction is involved in a heavy way, it is so hard for a person to grow in their consciousness and grow in their emotional maturity. It's so hard. They would have to really apply themselves and really want it. But the need for someone weaker so that you can feel powerful in your own life or superior to them, all that crap and wiring goes away. You know, now I know that men will always want to feel useful. That's not going to go away. Our basic wiring, no, that's not going to go away. But we're also very emotionally and spiritually capable and evolved people that we can override some of that damn wiring. We don't always have to give in to our most basic primal instincts. We're smarter than that. We can control that, okay? So, and there's been many times where I love it that a man wants to feel useful. I've got things that you could contribute to in a relationship, but it would be on a different level than what you can maybe go down and go over there and give somebody. Some people want to stay down on a different level, especially in addiction, and that hurts so bad. It's something that you have to come to terms with. They want to kind of stay down on another level and do the exchange system because they want to consort with other addicts a lot of the time, so that's where they're doing their bartering and exchanging, and I'll do this for you and that'll make me feel better and you'll do this for me. And they're not going to be able to, if you're a little more sober than they are or working on different things, they're not going to be able to meet you there. I go through that a lot in my situation, and it's painful, but hey, I'm making progress. But yeah, but a lot of that'll go away if you can meet on that frequency. We evolve beyond that to really see and hear and respect each other on these levels. We don't need to try to outshine, outdo, compete. It's none of that. We both stand in our own light, in our own glory, and both support and uplift one another. Not need, tear each other down, all these types of things, guys. Okay, let me wrap this one up. It's getting a little bit long. I'm going to come back in a part 4, wrap it all up, and break down those different levels of needs. What's healthy and expected in relationships, and what should not come in. What types of needs should not come in the first place. Should be that individual's responsibility. Yeah, and then the natural roles will just fall into place, guys, whatever works for you. I get it, men wired, women wired, but as long as there's love and high frequency, my brother Shelby, who has passed away 7 years ago, and his lifelong partner of 35 years, Carol, have one of the greatest love stories ever told. And I believe they were kind of on different frequencies at one time, but they made it work. And it's a fantastic story of people that are so completely different. And they had a 35-year age gap as well. I'll tell that story to you guys one day. So what else to wrap this one up? Be sure to check out the first and second part of this to get the full context. And make sure to check out the fourth part when I post it. Some people will always be stuck in scarcity mentality and levels of needs. They just stuck there. That's going to happen a lot with addicts. Pete Sapper at the Empath Uprising, or Chosen 144 on YouTube, he says, invest and test. That's a good one. Take your time, see the energy and effort you can put into a person. And if that level isn't matched, then pretty much you're going to know, what's up, that it's not going to be a good match. No need to hate that, though. It just isn't for everyone. If someone's constantly combating and arguing with you, sabotaging you, and neither of you can respect where the other's coming from and trying desperately to change each other